Hey guys, this is Steve Corian from the PTC community, and today I'm going to show you how to I'm going to show you how to pattern a hole along a curve and how I make it work. It's kind of quirky, and I'm going to show you first how to pattern normally, which is probably the most common. And I'm going to use this hole here that I put in, and I'm going to select the hole. You can either select it in your model or select it in your tree over here on the left. If you go down to your bottom right, you should see a tool called the pattern tool. If you select that and come up to your pull down up here on your left, you will see axis, because I'm going to use my axis because it's a circular pattern. I'm going to select the axis, and now it's asking me how many holes do I want and what angle I want them at. So I'm going to select 8, and I'm going to put them at 45, and you'll see they're equally spaced at 45 degrees, and then I'm going to hit OK. And that's generally how people use the pattern tool in Pro eWildfire 4. Or I should say it's probably the most common. Now on this cover I want to make a pattern follow along this profile here. I don't want to have to extrude. Now there's a couple problems with it. First, I'll show you what happens when people try to use the pattern tool and make it follow along a curve. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my sketch tool, and I'm going to create a sketch on that plane, on the plane of that I want it to follow along. And I'm going to use the offset entity tool, and I'm going to hit chain. And I'm going to select, if I hold control, it'll select the tangency. I'll hit accept. I'm going to hit yes. I want them to convert it to a loop. And then I'm going to close this. Oh, I can't close it. I got to put in a direction. So I want to go -15. And I'm going to check mark out of this. Now you'll see I have a nice path that's evenly spaced all the way around my profile. So what I'll do is I'll create a hole along that. Let's see, I'll use the extrude tool, and I'm going to define. I'm going to have to add some references here. Now if I right click on my curve, you'll see it selects the whole curve, and then I left click and the whole curve is now selected as a reference entity. That's what I want. Okay. Now I'm just going to randomly place this anywhere on the curve. It doesn't really matter at this point, because you're going to see what happens with this when I try to pattern it. So I'm going to do a through all. I'm going to hit subtract and hit OK. So I have this hole that's on this curve, right? And I want to pattern it all the way around, all the way around my cover. So I select the hole, I select the pattern tool, and you'll notice in my drop down up here, if I scroll down, I have a curve option. Well, if I select my curve, look what it does. It patterns, but it doesn't follow the actual curve. And why it does that, I have absolutely no idea. I've been playing with the pattern tool, trying to get it to follow along a curve for forever, and I actually found a workaround one day a couple years ago, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to start using this way to do it. So this is the incorrect way, which is what a lot of people run into. So I'm going to show you the workaround to this now. So I'm going to get out of here. Now I'm going to delete my extrude for that hole, and I'm going to create a datum sketch, a point. I'm going to sketch my point on this curve. For some reason, the pattern tool works with a point on the curve. If you constrain a hole to the point, that's along this curve at an endpoint, it'll work. But it won't work if you just select the curve. It's really strange. So I'm going to show you how I do this. I'm going to go to Sketch, References. I'm going to right click on my curve and select my curve. Then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to right click on the end of the curve. See this, how it says end curve F37? I'm going to select that, and up here you'll see end curve F37. You're probably wondering, oh, why do you need to do that? Well, I need to place a point there. It needs to be at the end point of one of these lines. Okay, so now I'm going to check mark out of here. Got my points turned on. I'm going to go to the hole tool. I'm going to select the point. It's at 15 as a diameter. That's what I want. I want it to be through all. I'm going to accept that. I'm going to leave it highlighted because I'm going to go right into the pattern tool. Now, the hole is constrained to the point, which is on the curve. And this is how I found this is the workaround to getting it to work on a pattern like this. So if I go up to my pull down up here on the left and I select the curve function now and I hit this, you'll notice that it's following along the curve. Now the problem is that it's at the end of the curve, so you're not going to get equal spacing like you want all the way around. I mean, the holes are equally spaced, if that makes sense, along the curve, but maybe I don't want it to start here, I want it to start here. Well, you don't really have the option. So the best thing you can do is just put in either a number of, this is the distance between them, between the holes right here, so I could put in 30, and you'll see that it changes my distance in between. I could put in 50, which almost looks right. 55. See, I can't seem to get this to look at, correct, so I'll go in here and if you select this option right here, this is the actual number of holes that are on the curve. So you can come in here and put 20. Come in here and put 15. You know, but like I said, you can see it's not on this entity, but it is following along the curve. So let's make it 30, or yeah, 31 maybe. 30, I guess. And I'll hit OK. And now you'll see that I have a hole that is patterned around this rim here, all the way around, equally spaced, and it's following the curve. But like I said before, you can't really place your point in the middle of the curve and then put the hole there and have it follow. It will not work. You have to place your point at the end point of a curve, which is where the problem comes in, I guess you could say. I even tried to use the break entity tool and break the curve in half, and it doesn't even matter. It still will not do it. So this is the only way I found that I can get it to work. I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment box. If you want to rate it, please feel free to rate it as well. Thanks.